Hello, Internet! Welcome to Philosophy Theory, the Internet's greatest game show when it comes to talking about old dudes in sandals and togas. That's because today we're diving into the historical minds of our greatest thinkers to see if they can survive Twitter, or if they can even last long enough before they can hit tweet. Because today we're diving into a universe far more terrifying than Plato's cave, and that is cancel culture. First off, we got Plato, the original influencer, but also problematic? So, Plato, yes, the cave guy, would absolutely get cancelled first. Why? Because my man believes society should be ruled by philosopher kings. And everybody loves a monarchy, right? And here is where we get into more trouble. Plato wasn't the biggest fan of democracy, which would definitely spark a thread war. And this can be figured out through his works in The Republic, where he stated, "Come then tell me, dear friend, how tyranny arises. That is, in an outgrowth of democracy, is fairly plain. Is it then, in a sense, in the same way in which democracy arises out of the oligarchy, that tyranny arises from democracy?" But here's the thing. I don't believe Plato will get cancelled for very long, because Plato is an extremely good long-form discourse person. He'd weaponize threads, quote tweet, bad takes, and drop paragraph essays like it's an Olympic sport. In conclusion, I believe he'll be lightly cancelled, and people will probably forget what he said, maybe after like a couple weeks. And then he'll be back on the train of teaching thoughts and trying to get that philosopher king instated. Next up, Confucius. If Plato is a problematic fave, Confucius is the wholesome dad of TikTok. He teaches kindness, respect, moral cultivation, and half of his quotes could be embroidered on a pillow sold at Target. His tidbits about kindness and wisdom and respect, TikTok's gonna eat it up. But then someone reads past the first quote. Confucius taught a lot about social hierarchy, strict obedience in the family, rigid roles in society, unquestioned respect for rulers, heavily emphasis on tradition. Those ideas weren't malicious. They were meant to maintain harmony in ancient China. But in 2025? Oh boy. You'd see threads titled Confucianism and Authoritarianism Enabling? Did Confucius invent toxic respect culture? Also, Confucian tradition historically gets linked to strict gender hierarchy. And once that gets clipped out of context, he's done for. A lot of his actions probably won't lead to him getting cancelled, but it's mostly a lot of his beliefs. He'd get cancelled not for malice, but for being too traditional for hyper-modern audiences. Next up is Diogenes, the original shitposter. Meanwhile, Diogenes doesn't even make it past the terms of service. This man lived in a barrel, barked at people, threw shade at Alexander the Great, and believed society is a joke. His personification of unhinged Twitter account. Diogenes practiced anadia, which is shamelessness, which basically means, if society says it's embarrassing, I'm going to do it louder. He embraced public indecency to make philosophical points. This dude would be banned from every platform within hours. He speedruns cancellation so fast that Guinness calls him. Final verdict, he is the most cancelled human out of the three. Banned across all timelines. Diogenes is the undisputed champion of the Cancel Olympics. Let's get into the final rankings. So here's the leaderboard. Plato, democracy hater, eugenics enthusiast, cancelled. Forbid, Confucius, hierarchy and traditional spark modern backlash, cancelled again. Diogenes, banned for everything. In the end, there's no survivors. All three philosophers get cancelled, but each in their own uniquely chaotic flavor. So who do you think would get cancelled first? Plato, the political firestarter? Confucius, the unexpectedly controversial? Or Diogenes, the unhinged goblin philosopher? But hey, that's just a theory. A philosophy theory. Thanks for watching.